You and me, we've been through a lot together. Any of us who've invested in precious metal mining stocks, we literally have been through the mill for the last few years. But what did Rick Santelli say on CNBC? I don't watch CNBC, but I saw someone refer to this little clip where Rick Santelli, he dropped some major truth bombs this morning on CNBC. Is the mainstream media even starting to wake up to how screwed up everything is in the economy, in the financial system? I'm going to play this clip for you in a little bit, but I'm going to warn you, Rick Santelli covers all the bases, and he almost says our favorite saying, unicorn fart dust, because we know this system is being held together with bubblegum and duct tape right now, and things are looking shaky in the Western financial system. And we know that when the truth comes out, when everything filters through, when the laws of mathematics, and the laws of mathematics always do win, that silver and gold will retain and likely gain in value. We're going to listen to this Rick Santelli clip, but I want to give you some things to be listening for while we watch it. Number one, he talks about the inevitability of a recession. Number two, he talks about interest rate hike craziness over the last year. That what we have right now isn't really a banking crisis, it's more of a Fed crisis. He talks about the rate hike crisis and that we have a crisis right now that's built on a crisis that we never solved. We never really dealt with the problems of the 2008 financial crisis. We never really dealt with the problems of when the tech bubble burst back in the year 2000. He says, let's take a walk back, take a step back, right? What's the reality of what's going on? He talks about how the government is spending all this money, deficit upon deficit, and that Jay Powell doesn't really want to talk about that anymore. Basically, what he says is we are living in fantasy land. He almost goes as far as to say unicorn fart dust, but he calls it monetary magic theory, that MMT theory. Rick Santelli hits the nail on the head in this clip. Let's listen to it right now.
I don't follow Fed dot plots, but we all know that this quarter isn't shaping up to be necessarily a good quarter. Many are seeing recession. I don't see a way to avoid it. Just to put a face on this, we all see what's going on with interest rates, 356 in a 2-year. Just think about this. On March 8th, it closed at 507. The high yield closed. That was the highest since 2007. Now we're at the lowest yields since September, 10-year. And we did the charts, a month ago? And about 5 months ago, I staked my claim here. 4.25 is the high. It was the high back in October. We never came back and challenged those fall levels. You remember, Joe, we did the Elliott wave count. It was clearly the high yield close. But, man, look at how far we've fallen there. Is this really a banking crisis? Joe, you know what it is. It's a Fed crisis. It's a rate hiking crisis. It's a crisis built on a crisis we never solved. And now we have walkbacks, takebacks, Treasury secretaries changing their mind. Is it any wonder there's all this volatility in the markets? Back to you.
People are testing. They're. I don't even know if they know anything about Deutsche Bank. Do they, Rick? They're going to test it. They're going to keep testing, right? First of all, we test and we don't test for rates on some of the stress tests here. That's crazy. But listen, folks, we all need to take a step back, okay? How many trillions of dollars of negative securities were hovering through Europe? How could anybody be shocked? I was shocked that the news wasn't worse 3 months ago, 2 months ago. Now we're starting to see the realities of it. And listen, I'm not picking on Jay Powell and the Fed. Their mission is almost impossible. When I do get a little stressed, though, is when they ask him questions about the government and spending and debt and fiscal dreaming and magic monetary theory. And he says, oh, no, I don't comment about that. He certainly seemed to have worked with them when the debt was being created. Now they leave us out to dry.
First Mining Gold is a development company advancing two of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves, but exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has zero debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects. So what do you think? Leave a comment in the comment section below. And by the way, while I still have your attention, thank you for joining me here in the basement. There is no Ron's Basement without you. You are special. You are unique. Your time is important. I honor the fact that you decided to join me today. Now, what do you think is going to happen when all these things that even Rick Santelli is talking about, when they all come home to roost, when the hens come home to roost? What do you think's going to happen? You know, when I ring that bell, Susie's supposed to come down and refill my coffee. We know that's not going to happen, but what we do know is going to happen is that real assets are going to retain and gain in value. Things like land, things like oil, things like food. And is there something else we're missing that's a real asset that's maintained its value for 5,000 years? Here. Oh, yeah, this stuff. Physical silver. This right here, this exact silver has been valuable for 5,000 years. Same is true with gold. Look, things are screwy out there. Things really are held together with bubblegum and duct tape right now. I'll argue that point with anyone. I'm often wrong, but I'm highly confident. Let me know what you think, that we're right about that. And in the end, the precious metals will retain their value. They've seen this clown show just a few times over the last 5,000 years. You know, you can look back at the Dutch, the Spanish, the British, the Romans, any empire, they all wind up diluting their currency. But for some strange reason, through all of that, precious metals always maintain their value. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed your visit to the basement. I'm glad you're here, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you next time.